Welcome to another edition of the Motley Croc Show. It's 2/22/24, and there's been some crazy stuff happening, and I would not have even thought about it until first thing I get up and I look at my phone, and of course, Ant makes videos about, the phones being down. So anyways, behind the scenes, we have everybody waiting in there. So I'm going to bring in the Manic Satanic. What's up, Jeff? How you doing?
What's up, y'all?
We have Bumblebee Tuna, and then, of course,
Hey,
very, very, very special guest.
what up, Sexy?
Damn it.
Look who it is.
So
Hi,
we had
everybody.
a wild week. I'll set the pace. We had a wild week, and there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on. Like a Gila monster killed a guy. That's pretty interesting.
That's the first, right?
Yeah, that's something I thought I definitely would have been hearing about. No, there had to be some sort of problem with that. And then I did a little research, and then we also had some people talking about it. Cleaning exhibits like that, and you can actually make it worse when you get bit. I guess you get remnants of it in your blood from cleaning and all kinds of stuff. So, and to be clear, Gila monster is a venomous lizard, but it's usually not a deadly lizard. Unless you're like allergic to it. It's kind of like a bee sting.
Right. It had to be some kind of comorbidity, something that the body could handle, venom or.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's where. And then we got attacked by sun, so I definitely want to talk about that with it tonight. Stop. I mean, I really do. We got to talk serious about the attack, dude.
I'm there with you.
Well, alleged attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the solar flare, because, okay, so it's, I just want to say, it's interesting because why would it just pick one particular network, dude?
Because the sun didn't pay its bills, honey.
Well,
It's not just AT&T.
I think that I read a few articles that chalk it up to human error. They called it like a cloud disruption, and they said that really is a euphemism for human error. It was. I mean, it definitely. I wouldn't rule out like a test run of, like a network grid bring down or something like that. But 72,000 people.
Well, and then in the same breath, pretty much, before everybody even gets back up, whoever had the phone outage, then pharmacies are under cyber attack across the country. So I'm thinking to myself, and here's the thing that people don't know. So if you read further into this whole situation, the phone systems actually went down at like 3 a.m. East Coast time. Okay, it was like middle of the night, which at that point, most of the United States is asleep, except for probably maybe California and Hawaii.
It was working.
But a lot of people were reporting, a lot of people that had companies that they work for were reporting these outages in the middle of the night. So when we all woke up to our phones being in SOS mode, this had already been going on. And it wasn't just AT&T, guys. It was
Verizon.
It was Verizon. It was AT&T. It was T-Mobile, and I have police officers who use, I think it's called FirstNet or
that's what we use work. But ours didn't go down. We use FirstNet.
Okay, some said that theirs did.
Right. It didn't go down before I left at 7 a.m. and it could have been afterwards. There's no doubt about it. There was a system outage, but it was short at work. I got an email.
Yeah. So it's and then of course it ended up just being AT&T for I guess 12 hours in total. I know it's weird to me. I'm going more to dry run. I know the sun didn't choose to pick Florida, Chicago, LA.
Lord. Listen, when I heard the sun flare, immediately I was like, oh, so it's weather balloons again. We're back in 47 with Roswell. We're blaming a singular sun flare that happened at 12:01 midnight that NASA reported, and that wasn't even strong enough to do any damage. It would have done something to multiple satellites, and we would have heard something. It doesn't trigger a tower.
Right.
These were signals from the towers, not satielites.
Now,
So it didn't just go.
Was the damage they were talking about. It was the disruption of the satellite signal. Just like back in the day before we had cable in my town, My father got this gigantic alien 13-foot satellite dish put in our backyard.
I remember those.
I've had one. We had one. We used to
And you
watch
had,
squiggly
like,
porn on it.
If a box broke, you had to hand crank it with my dad yelling out the window, going, go back a little bit, go forward.
Yeah.
Trying to get some kind of sporting event or whatever. And
Craig, what's up, buddy?
disruptions when there were solar events, but it wasn't completely out. You get a lot of like waves and things like that.
So what was interesting was my nephew was in the house, and we're in the same carrier. Like, we're the same carrier on the same plan. And his phone was an SOS, and mine, right after I saw your video, Aunt, mine came back on. And my parents said they never lost theirs.
It wasn't everyone.
I didn't use mine.
Judy, it was very spotty.
73,000 people, they said, give or take.
I think it was way more than that, to be honest. Yeah.
But I mean, think about that. So think about it being a solar flare, and it's so limited. I don't know, man. It could be somebody like Jeff, I think, was probably hit it too. It's, you can go to the far with it and say that it was a test, which it very well could have been. Or it was human error. Some dingbat did something really dumb.
I don't think that's far off, though. I mean,
I had to say that because, I'm trying to be nice.
I know, but every conspiracy it comes true in about 6 months. That's the timeline.
I haven't fallen off the flat earth yet, so I don't know.
But I think Ant will agree with me on this. This is the weird thing, is that the movie landed end of October, early November, called Leave the World Behind, directed and created by the Obamas. The opening of the movie starts like this. Doing
not
a test.
directed by the Obama. Back that up a little bit. They executive produced it, which means
they were co-writers on it because they talked about how they helped direct a lot of the background working of the writing.
Well, I thought Michelle Obama owns a portion of Netflix now. Isn't that true?
She does. Yep,
Okay.
she does. Yeah, so she had her and Obama had a lot of intricate play in a lot of the language, the dialogue, how things actually would have played out if a situation like this had occurred. And so anyway, so it was funny that this was brought up today again, where people are like, this is so weird. Were they trying to prepare us or tell us that there were inklings of tricklings of things coming down the pipe? And they're trying to steadily tell the public. You got to look at it.
I'm talking about the inklings and the breadcrumbs and the arrogant leaving.
Because you can't just come right out to public and say, hey, in 6 months, everybody be prepared. China and Russia are going to do a pre-test cyber attack on everybody. So watch out. They can't do that.
I took your point differently. One of the things that I was thinking about today is it could have been us trying to see how people would react if the grid went down. That's probably the most logical of all the theories, and they can't tell us about it because people wouldn't react the same.
Yeah.
And the government's crooked and stuff.
So, Britt, to go off of your movie thing, I'll go back to that because I have a big question that maybe you guys will know. Speaking of satellites as well, there is a new movie coming out in April called Civil War. I don't know if anybody's seen any trailers on that, but it is does seem pretty legit. There's some big time actors in there. Also pretty scary because we're on the verge of, I don't know if we're on the verge of civil war, but there's definitely a lot of talk about it. I mean, literally the country's divided. I mean,
absolutely.
100%. But there was a siren I heard or I had read that went off also yesterday off the coast of mainland Hawaii, and it was a tsunami siren or whatever their alert system is. And there was obviously no tsunami. So it was a faulty situation in the middle of the night. They said that it was because a satellite fell from the sky in between Hawaii and Alaska. Troy, do you think that's because of solar flares? Or did the dome that we're under in the Truman Show, one of the lights fell out? What's up?
The faulty Chinese circuitry.
I mean, you have to understand, I think about things as how I would react. I mean, I've had an interesting life. So I go into survival mode and what I'm going to do. And I think that, had they shut down the Wi-Fi systems and all the cell phone and families couldn't connect each other's family and there was no talking, you couldn't post videos. I think there would have been a lot more, a lot more crazy shit going on. People would really have panicked because, that's like that's like being in a video game with no control of anything, and that's very weird to me. Very weird. I would like to hope that one or two things, maybe they were testing to see what would happen if someone did try something like that.
That's my take.
But this type of stuff, man, I think that, I'm a little different the way I look at things, but this type of stuff causes like a lot of hatred amongst a lot of people for whatever it is or whatever they're going to do or whatever. So now you have Chinese people that are out here. And I heard someone say the other day, we were at Walmart, which I really don't ever really go there. I'd rather spend the extra money to go to Publix and get a hand job. But I saw like, you see like families in there, like you see families that are clearly just not, your natural American families, like I know that everybody looks like different colors and stuff and they all different things, but they'll talk a little different. But when they're really foreign, they're foreign. Now, are they on vacation or whatever? Now, I don't really think one thing of it. I just live my life and get what I need to do. And if someone tries to come at me, then, you know what I'm saying? Then if Jesus is real, they're going to open their eyes. He's going to be right there. At least I'm going to try to send him that way. Now, I heard somebody talking. I'm sorry. I'm just being real. Like, protect yourself, folks. Don't take it seriously. Somebody grabbed one of my family member friends when I'm out and about, dude. Listen.
Oh, well,
I'm going to relieve that pressure in that head, dude. I'm relieving it. And I'm pretty good. Pretty good shot. So with that being said, I hear a lot of stuff, and yes, I do carry a firearm. So if you see me out in public and stuff, yeah, I'm always armed. So if you ever for 1 second hear people talk, they're like, oh, look at, here's one of them scumbag border jumpers. You can't trust. There's a fucking sleeper. I hear people say that, just normal people, because they're watching the media. So like, you're gonna either there is going to be something ridiculous going on because they can do it, or two, you're causing so much racism that innocent people now are attacking each other. So we've actually it's like they've made us a virus, and we have white blood cells and red blood cells, and we're all just going after each other by what we're seeing, by what we're programmed, and that type of stuff. It's
all by design. It's all by design,
of course. And like when Ant talks about the
game,
when you talk about the many different spectrums of ABC and LBG, when you say it all the time, man, like what is the world's going on? So what that does is you get someone that has some sort of belief that there's something else, and I can't say anything on it because I don't have any. I don't feel that way. But then you find a group, and they put this thing together, and then they start to believe it, and then they believe in it so much they start wars over it, and they go out and throw rocks at people, and how dare you? And then elderly people that are just have no idea what's going on are getting beat up because they're, they kept us down for so long. We're going to take it back, and you get an angry chemical person. And twisted up, and they're gonna, now you got them drugged, and you got them acting ridiculous, and it's like it's almost like a big joke.
Like I think about that a lot, Troy. That how it blows my mind. And granted, there's a lot of not smart people out there, and it's not even not smart people though. It's people who need, everybody needs an enemy.
Yep.
Everybody needs a boogeyman. We've created more boogeymen through the government of the United States than anybody, I imagine. And it doesn't matter if you're a conservative, liberal, Democrat, libertarian, Green Party, or communist. They want everybody to be a house divided because that's how they control. They split us apart into little groups, 100%. And it's a lot easier to control everybody because you want to talk about cabal, and this is just my opinion, that the cabal is the government. That they're all together, that freaking Trump and Biden are probably blowing each other at this very moment. Although Biden doesn't know where he is, and Trump thinks he gives the best blowjob in the world. Other than that, it's really, though, seriously, I just think that
it is really like that anymore. I don't remember it. I remember politics being shit and cause problems. And the other night it was like 3 a.m, just for case in point. And there was a like some old show playing Happy Days, I think it was, and it was about Ron Howard was in or whatever, and he thought this girl was cute, but she was a Republican. Back in those days, the views were different. Like the Republicans were the Democrats were Republican, and somewhere along the line that like it went over. So his dad was like, "No, we can't have a Democrat in the House. Democrats are, they start wars and they're ridiculous." And this is in Happy Days, dude, right? And so when you're a kid watching that, you don't think about that the way you do now. Like it's been going on that long, right? So parents are against you, and they've been dividing it all over. And he was divided because the story of the show was he wanted to become a Democrat because he thought the girl was cute. And then in the end, they lost anyways. The girl's like,
story, man.
You lost or whatever. We didn't win. I can't look at you anymore. It just reminds me of us losing the election. And as stupid as that show was, and you look around what's going on now, we're old, at least I am, and I see it. It's like, my God, dude. It's like everybody's. And then look at Japan, dude. They're so advanced, and they have like the greatest technology, and their cities are huge.
Sushi.
We can do so much commerce back and forth. And most people just want to pay money and do business. But then there's these greedy people that come in and do stuff. And honest to God, dude, they want a weaker people because there's a lot of us. And yeah, they could come in here with, they're delivering Chick-fil-A with drones. They can deliver fucking grenades through your front window with the same fucking thing if they want to. And if you don't think that's testing it, you're out of your mind. That drone up company, read about that company.
This will be the litmus test if it was a test by our government. Eventually, they'll say, okay, we tested and this is how we ran. At least they should. Not that they ever do what they're supposed to, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think that the most likely scenario was it's our government trying to see what people would do on a small scale if they killed the grid.
And by the way, our government means both sides.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that's the common misconception, right? Because people are like, well, how do you, you're gay and how can you be a conservative? Well, how can you be a simp for the government, period?
Exactly. Exactly. Your shirt says it all, Ant.
Right. It's like, I
love it.
I just can't wrap my mind around. First of all, there's the Democrats in our government are richer than us, and the Republicans in our government are richer than us. So when people are like, "Oh, the elite liberals," they're all fucking elite.
Exactly.
Every single one of them. Yep. They're all out to get you. I'm sorry, they are. They're They're supposed to be working for us, and they're not. So
exactly.
I'm against the government as a whole. Do I think Donald Trump is an asshole? 100%. But guess what? That asshole had more money in my pocket and less fucking problems when he was president. So I don't know. I'm going for him. I mean, I'm just saying, like, in general.
And that's your right as an American. That's how it should be.
Right. And if somebody, and I say this all the time, if you did vote for Biden or you did vote for Hillary, whatever her name was, Hillary fucking Clinton, we're just voting for the same people that have been in that same position forever. Like it's the same bullshit over and over and over again. They're all crooks, they're all criminals, but all I know is I don't know why Donald Trump would want to waste millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars and not get paid himself if he had an ulterior motive behind it. I think that he was kind of trying to expose everybody, and the reason why they don't like him is because he's trying to expose everybody. And I'm here for it. That's it. That's my take.
I just think with that, and I have a theory on that, I think with him, it's the man loves power, whether it's conscious or unconscious. He loves to be the number one. I mean, if you think about it, like how many times he said, well, I'm the best golfer in the world, the best tennis player.
I know, but I want America to be number one.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. I just think that first of all, the two candidates are setting a record this year for the oldest two candidates to run, and they're breaking a record that they set themselves 4 years ago.
I definitely think I think we need to clean slate, if you want my personal opinion.
Burn it to the fucking ground.
And I say this, I've said this I make fun of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever that bitch's name is. I make fun of her all the time because it's easy. She's easy to make fun of. But you gotta give her some fucking credit because she's a young person in politics that has a young following.
Right.
That it blows my mind when I'm like, and that's kind of why I like the new conservative movement, because they're not Republicans. They are a mixture of different types of young, trying to kind of go, like a millennial, zennial. Let's go with zennial. Trying to get the younger vote. And that's why I didn't really like Vivek Ramaswamy, but I had to give him some credit once he was like, no, listen, I lost, but I'm going to back this person because, and he had the balls to say it. And he goes on social media and he tries to get the younger voter.
Right. And I think that's where Trump's going wrong, is that he goes on social media and rants and raves about people and things like that. Not that, I really don't want to vote for either of them, honestly.
But you have the right to not do that, though.
Absolutely. Well, maybe they'll run a good libertarian candidate who's not a freaking Dan Johnson crooked piece of shit. Sorry, my language today. Don't get us kicked off. I'm kind of on a soapbox. It's Ann. He brings it out in me.
Oh, are we not allowed to swear? But I wouldn't know because you never reached out to me.
I don't know if they just. I don't. I mean, I don't have it. I don't make money off this. This is just for us to have a really good time and do our thing for now. I've never really taken this to that level, so you can say what you want.
Join our OnlyFans page. Join our OnlyFans page, guys. No,
you told me you weren't going to reveal it until we had some good content. So, I do
want to add in something though. Like, I think that in a whole, we give the government way too much credit. Oh, personally, I think that a lot of the times we immediately go, "Oh, the government would do this," and like what? No, they don't even care about you.
Because you know why though, Brittany? Because people that sit home with a picture of a wolf on their shirt, howling at the moon.
The second love that stuff. That this week.
Okay, and that's what you're doing, folks. Throw that shit in the fucking trash because you are a demographic that propel this type of stuff, and that's why people talk about it.
No, I agree. I'm not.
They have a dream catcher and don't even know what it's for.
I'm just saying we have to look inside the levels of what the government is and the branches outside of the government that the internal government doesn't have access to and are not allowed to be privy to. Services. And so you have different individual branches of intelligence as well. And then even within those individual branches of intelligence, those individual sectors if you aren't in that sector, you don't get to know that information. And we're learning about all those sectors, even through the CIA, through the FBI, all these other intelligence offices, that they have secret agendas and plans that they have in place that our main core of government have no idea what's going on.
That's how we're funding it. Happened by miscommunication between our clandestine services. They
right, but even put in a skiff, they will not give the information. Put into a skiff, they still say this is above you. And in a sense, it's slapping them in the face saying it's above your pay grade and you don't need to know. Thank you. And they leave. And that's basically how this sits. So if you circle it back to what happened today, could this been a test run on us for something yet to come? Could this been a test run to see what would happen to us as a whole? Possibly. But I think we shouldn't put it just on the government. I think there might have been another sector involved. And then it came in from a different
big line. Business, dude.
Exactly. A different line that literally our people in Congress were like, well, we did get satellite phones. Do you think that's what this was for today? I wonder where that came from.
That's what did people forget about that?
The satellite phone for a budget line. Absolutely.
Or the whole cell phone.
I only know one person in real life that has a satellite phone, and that's Brittany's husband.
I do. We have a satellite phone. Speaking of which, got your own satellite, he told me New York City is still out. Like he got to his hotel back again from another meeting to another hotel in the city. And they're like, hey, we just want to apologize. Our internet is out because it's hosted through AT&T. So there's no Wi-Fi. Yes. In New York City, their area is still out.
Say hotel one more time.
Hotel.
It sounded like you were saying it in two syllables. You were like,
hotel. No, hotel. Yeah.
Hotel.
I probably am saying it. Hotel. I probably am.
You're saying it.
Hotel like Rotel?
It's a Britneyism. It's a
like Rotel? The chips and dip?
No, but it's just interesting to me. Like it's interesting to me that New York City is still out.
Well, I talked to my sister in New York City on her cell about 2 hours ago, just for the record. But it's also a Brooklyn exchange, so you never know.
New York is a great place. I hear they got great roasted rat on sticks.
Oh, it's the best roasted rat on sticks. I think you're thinking of like Bangkok.
It's pretty close, bro. Have you been? It's pretty close.
Oh my God. New York City.
I lived in New York City. I've been to Bangkok. I love New York City. It was the best city in the world, man.
I can't stand it. But I'm from Chicago, so
I was gonna say, oh, there you go. Yeah, your pizza's weird. So
so is your bitch. I actually like
you city folk.
Before we move forward, as a Chicagoan, I actually like New York pizza now that I've been in Florida for quite some time because a lot of the pizza here is New York pizza.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'd say most of a lot of New York transplants.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of both. So I just want to throw that out there. No hate for New York pizza. I'm a fan of both. What?
Flow York pizza.
Flow York. No, there's a lot of transplants from like authentic
Right, a lot of
Italian.
people from New York City that open
A
pizza
lot
places
of
that
authentic
goes to.
Italian New Yorkers, New Jersey. We have a lot of.
I just
people
want to
that-
know, man, when I see it. This is just the
Fazoli's.
first thing because I am a
That's not-
Floridian. I'm a Floridian. I'm the only one on this show right now that's born here. And so I
Wasn't
don't
your
walk
sister
into other
born here?
states. I was
No,
born in
Tucson.
Florida. Brittany was born in Arizona, and Jeff was born during the Salem witch trials.
Yeah, try to burn this motherfucker.
But I mean, but y'all have different states. But would never go to another state with a big shirt that says, Florida or I love Florida on it. Like, why do you come here and still perpetuate that? Like,
You don't
even
wear,
the big cities here, even the big cities are slightly redneck in Florida. I don't care.
The only big city in Florida is
Miami's the only city in Florida that's outrageous as far as like where you don't find. I mean, come on, dude.
It's the only real big city in Florida is Miami, and it's not
and
even
it's
that
like,
big,
but mainly it's just it's just different down there, dude. That's all I can tell you.
It smells like a heaping pile of dog shit.
How come you don't have an awesome Chicago accent?
It's like, so when people come here and like, oh, I love New York, well then go back. Go back.
Yeah.
I do. I love New York. I'm not a huge fan of Florida. It's warm.
I'm not saying Jeff, you. I'm
It's
saying when
not
people come here
medical
and they talk about their state, I'm like, go.
Where
back.
are you at now? Where are you at now, Jeff?
I'm in Spring Hill. I just bought a house in Florida.
Oh, okay.
I live about an hour from Troy now. I moved out of Tampa in October. I bought a house up here because I couldn't afford a damn house in Tampa.
That's my point. That's another bunch of dumb shit.
I grew up in actually the best pizza town in the country is New Haven, Connecticut. Boom.
Oh.
Google it.
Connecticut. Google it.
Google it. It's actually it's a medium-sized city with it's been on the top 10 highest per capita murder rate several times, and along with
It's interesting because you don't meet a lot of people from Connecticut, dude, but when you do, they love it. Isn't that weird?
I hate Connecticut, man.
New
Haven was a
you got to
fun
go
city.
here, you got to go there. That's weird.
After working like 7 years as a bounty hunter in Connecticut in some of those cities, it loses its luster because you see the underbelly of the shit that goes on there.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That's why I like living. I want to buy like 100 acres, live in the middle of it. I probably will.
How about 40 and a mule?
And I wouldn't want to be doing any anything
mule.
where people see me or hey, look what I do, and I cut grass and I pet this and I do that and I have a bird. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to hide out there. And if someone comes up, we Charlie Daniels that motherfucker if we have to. Don't come out here. Don't come out here.
So I was born and raised in Illinois, but I have always felt since I was a little kid that I should have been in Florida. And now as an adult, now that I've been in Florida for collectively 5 years, I'm like, I love Florida. Like I love it. I it's just my thing. Like I love the subtropical weather. Like I don't mind the heat. I think it's great because it's so different depending on where you go. I get super pissed off when people talk shit about Florida. I'm like, then don't come here. Like nobody's forcing you to come here. Just fucking leave.
Well, because the parts of Florida they talk about are the parts of Florida that we don't like either.
Oh, 100%. Like
we probably shouldn't mention those.
We already know how we feel about Miami, and I think Orlando smells like a toilet, so I don't like Orlando.
I'm not an Orlando fan.
Oh man, I have a business there, but I understand.
Whenever I leave Orlando, I feel like I'm physically dirty, like I have to bathe. I don't know what
Orlando's rough.
Disgusting.
It's gotten bad.
Bottom of the barrel, people everywhere. And they're all aimless because it's people from everywhere just coming for Disney.
Yeah.
So it's literally garbage. Like it's garbage.
Garbage. Oh, it's French too. My favorite city. I've lived in a lot of cities. I've been a nomad. I've lived in all 4 countries in the middle. My favorite cities in the world that I've lived in: Seattle, loved it. Phoenix was another one.
I like Arizona. I do like Arizona. I want to drag in.
Arizona's nice. I like Arizona.
I love Boston. Boston, the beach.
Oh, I like Boston too.
I lived in Boston before I moved here. Well, it's Oklahoma City. Seattle's a great city.
The place
it's expensive.
That set up the chop zone.
The wahoo now?
Like the Antifa fucking mecca of the fucking country.
Yeah, that's not Seattle. That's people who live in Seattle.
Oh, okay.
And
what they do about Seattle is it rains a lot. Is that true?
It rains 265 days a year on average, I think. But it's not rain; it's mist. You know,
Oh, no,
most of the
I'm
time.
good
That's
on that.
crazy, bro.
Winters
That's
are
like
That's
that's like some
great.
Ireland shit. That's like
Doesn't
Doesn't
the
it have the
landscape is
highest
amazing.
suicide rate in the country?
Yes, for several
probably
reasons.
because it's so
One,
gloom and doom
one,
there with the
it's
weather.
gloomy weather. Two,
Yeah.
it's the amount of coffee that people drink. And three, it's the migraines people get from all the lakes, from all the freaking sun beaming off the lakes.
And that was like your top place that you mentioned.
I loved it there. It's a great place to raise kids. It's a safe city. It's I'm talking about from street crime. Safer than Tampa, for sure. It's the landscape around it is amazing. The Pacific Northwest is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, you know what, dude?
Yeah.
I think that people are misguided everywhere, but you're right. Seattle's got its share of there's a lot of self-righteousness, which I don't like. You know, everybody is so right that they have to throw rocks and bottles at each other and shit. I'm not down with that. You know, but I'd say probably the top two were New York and Boston, and then Phoenix after that. I love Phoenix. I love the desert.
New York is an interesting city. I've been to New York City. It's an interesting city to see. I wouldn't want to live there, Jeff. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not for everybody, man. It's a
an alligators are an endangered species in New York, so we'll talk to Jimmy about that summer on the air.
I'll show you my New York.
Oh my God, what a journey that was!
I'll show you the cool New York. You know, Manhattan, Manhattan, but like Brooklyn, Lower Manhattan, awesome. They took Lower Manhattan and made it one of the most expensive places to live in the world. When it used to be like back in the punk rock days, man, Alphabet City and the Lower East Side, it was like a cesspool. You know what I mean? You could you ever seen the movie of the Jim Carroll story, Basketball Diaries?
Yes, I have.
That's what New York was like in the 80s and 70s and even somewhat into the 90s.
It's the same as like when you go to Hollywood. When you go to Hollywood for the first time, and you see it. Well, if you go out there when it gets dark, it's a totally different, dude. There's dicks out.
Said that was under Mayor Giuliani.
Mayor Giuliani cleaned up the city. He not in the 70s and 80s, but he destroyed Times Square. He used to come up in Times Square, and all you saw was XXX everywhere. And 25. We used to go when we were teenagers and sneak into the peep shows and shit, like with the booths with the glass that goes up. And
New York was very. But here's the thing for me now, Jeff. I don't like a lot of people, man. I'm a little strange. When I go places when I walk in a room full of people talking shit, I get quiet, watch a room. It's like, man, I'd rather be out there fucking sitting with an alligator or something. That's just,
you got to have the big city mentality. The only thing that exists is this. Everything else around you is just white noise.
Yeah, so it's funny that you say that because Chicago is that big city, and growing up in Chicago, I grew up in the suburbs outside Chicago, but we grew up going to the city, Wrigley Field, Cubs games. It used to be such a great city. It was so clean. It's nothing like it was today.
Nice sausages.
The what?
The sausages.
The sausages. But the mentality in the Midwest, and compared to two big cities, right? New Yorkers have that tunnel vision where there could be a fight going on. Chicagoans are like, bitch, who's fighting? Hold on, I'm gonna get ready to wait. Who is it? I'm in. We're ready to they want to be involved, and New Yorkers don't give a fuck of what's happening.
If you don't mind your business in New York, you become food. People prey on you. That's
right.
And I used to teach when we lived in Boston, my ex-wife's friends were going to college there, and they're like, you just walk through the city so effortlessly because it's nothing to me. And they're like, I was like, you just gotta have that look on your face, like it's more trouble to bother you than it is to leave you alone.
And I'm the person that's like, gimme, I want to talk to people. And Troy's like, you can't talk to everybody, bro.
That's right.
I love talking to people.
Like me.
My favorite thing.
That's right. What's up, Ben? How you doing? That's right, though. And that's
Ben,
absolutely 100% correct. I think you're right there. And I don't know, man. The world is some of the city. I got to tell you, but I like San Antonio. That was a pretty neat time. I had a really good time out there.
San Antonio,
Texas is nice.
I really like San Antonio. I don't know what it's like now, but I had a really good time there. A few years back before I almost died.
Austin's a cool city, minus Alex Jones, and
Austin's weird, bro.
Yeah, I lived in Oklahoma
City.
City.
People are so toxic. I hate toxic gay people.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I lived in Oklahoma City, and I hated it. It was not for me. It was too touchy-feely friendly, like everybody, howdy this and howdy that. I was like, I just want to walk to where I'm going. I say hi to everybody, but I'm just like, then I move on. You know, and it
They were
was,
too friendly.
I'm friendly, dude.
No, I said they were too friendly. That's what I was saying.
It's not even friendly. Like everybody's all up in your business, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm used to cities where nobody gives a fuck about anybody, and you keep to yourself and do your own thing and hang with your friends, and you know, like if you walk down the street in New York and say hi to a bunch of people, there'll be men in white coats with a giant net chasing you down, thinking you're nuts, you know, trying to 5150 or Baker Act or whatever.
I'm good on that. It's a pass.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to work there for a week for a job with my friend who flew me up to work there for a week. And I had been there visiting before, once for a wedding and then once to like travel from there to Ireland. So this was like my first like full week being in New York City. And I just remember walking from her house, like her apartment, down to where we needed to work. And I just remember just like staring at the floor because I didn't want to make eye contact with anybody because it was just horrifyingly scary everywhere I went. People were yelling at everybody so violently, but looking down on the ground was even dirtier. Like we would walk. She's like, I love New York. Isn't it great? And I remember as she said that comment, we looked down and there was a condom on the ground used. And we're like, yeah. I'm like,
a homeless person
yeah, Carrie, it's really great. Oh my gosh.
Hey, at least they're using condoms. They're not raw dogging it.
Oh my God. No, but I'm just saying, like, for me, I was like mortified. I was like, oh my God. On that. Oh my God.
Oh, you go. They call the floaters, the floating condoms, Coney Island whitefish. When you see them in the water around.
Oh my God.
Come on, you know something that's funny, man.
That's funny shit.
You know, like when I was a kid, my parents, we lived in New Haven, so it was like an hour and a half train commute to New York. I used to take the train a lot. And my parents used to bring us there. When I was a kid, I hated it. I was scared of the people. I was scared of the size of the city. And once I started going in by myself with my friends, when I was like 15, 16 years old, you know, we take the train into the city and spend the day there and then take the train home. I started, you know, finding cooler places to hang out and cooler people. Like the cool people in New York City, you don't see them on the street. You just see the everyday average, you know, workaday stiffs and the homeless and, you know, people preaching at the sidewalk. But you know, you go into some of the underbelly of the city, you know, the
preachers at the sidewalk, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
God.
You know, you try to tell a group of Black Israelites that you're Jewish.
Oh my God.
Not go over well, like a fart in church.
Bro, they come at you, dude. When I was out at we went to it was a fucking horrible day, but we went to the state fair. I don't know if all y'all been to a fair lately, but let me tell you something. The state fair was you know, it was something to be seen. But there was a couple good things. I did see at the WC out there. They did really good in the barn this year. They had a pretty good setup.
Oh, the Florida State Fair.
Yeah, they said it was they said it was the state fair. No, the Florida State recently. And,
yeah, the one that was last week or whatever. Yeah,
they had a couple of those people there that rented the booths. So they wear like the long dresses that look like a tablecloth, you know, and they like have bonnets and they have these things with smiley faces, and it says they try to stick a pamphlet in your face.
Oh, that's the wrong thing to do.
One thing God can't do. I'm like, look, man.
Oh,
don't come out with your little 18th century shoes tied up, laced up like that, like long sleeves out here with your glasses and a bonnet.
Oh, they were like there
in a fucking plaid shirt. I don't know, dude. There was 10 after 10th of them, and it's like, what are you doing, man? And they get it's just we're supposed to be out there like doing stuff.
The Bible bangers.
Yes, and then there was like then you had your really hardcore liberals out there.
He's jumped out with that.
Bible or banger that got him thrown off.
Both.
Bang, man. What'd you do?
Just like that. Boom.
Hey, man. What'd you do? But we had that going on, and then there was like
2 words together.
People just kind of were like, but it was mellow because a lot of the people didn't want to go because it was raining and cold. So we went all day and it was raining and cold.
Apparently, a cyber trigger word that they're like, catch that.
I'll be at the fairgrounds this weekend, as a matter of fact, at Repticon Tampa. Come see the Hardcore Hognose booth.
Yeah, I told you I would stop out there and see you Saturday.
Yeah, definitely, man. I appreciate that. Always appreciate the support.
I just was saying at some of these events, man, there's so many. Everybody got their own clique. It was like almost like a prison.
Yeah, they had they weren't.
That's what it's like.
Was with us,
so I would be in heaven, pretty much, is what you're saying. I'm just kidding.
Oh, wait, the fairgrounds?
He said it's like a prison. I said, oh, so I'd be in heaven, but never mind.
Not quite that kind of prison guy, but I did see something I've never seen before. I saw they had these cheese sticks out there that were the size of fucking, like a bottle of Coke or something that you buy at a gas station.
Like
Man.
fried cheese?
Fried cheese. Like, dude, I couldn't believe it.
That's like literally the worst food for you. You take the fattiest substance in the world and give it a cholesterol jacuzzi.
I'm telling you, man, but there was so much.
Are those people that are preaching the good word? Are they eating all that? I just want to know because I thought gluttony is a sin, so I was just making sure that they were thin.
One of my favorites.
No, but they were big. They were bigger. Normally they're big.
Of course they were. They all are. Of course they were. And
you
they tell me that I'm sinning. I'm sinning, though.
Yeah, of course.
I'm the sinner.
Read right below me. Sinner.
This is what I say to people. I'm the sinner, but you're fat. Got it. Gluttony's a sin. Have a good day. Take care.
Yep. I like to think I put to use all the 7 deadly sins.
That is fucking amazing, dude. That's amazing. I think a lot of times, like I remember when they would make people go to like church or something, you never really wanted to go to the Catholic church, bro, because it was boring. But after the regular church, bro, you could go to the park, get touched, have a bucket of chicken. I mean, it was church. You know what I'm saying, Ant? You remember that? And the longer you got it, the more ice cream you would get and stuff. It was pretty good, dude.
I was never an altar.
I don't know why they were giving you ice cream after church, Troy. Is there something that you need to tell us? Or
I'm telling you, dude, they would be like, "Hey, let's go, let's do this," and I'm like, "Man, there's free food. Come on up." So we would dine and dash, dude. Who doesn't do that?
Right.
Dine and dash.
I was never an altar boy, so I didn't. There was no touching.
A guy's waiting in front of
me neither,
and he standing next to an altar boy. And he's going there because he got a blowjob behind his wife's back. So he looks at the altar boy. He goes, "Hey, what does the priest usually give for a blowjob?" He goes, "A yoo-hoo and a Twinkie."
Oh my god!
I knew you'd like that, man.
I love it, dude. But all aside of that, though, man. Like, I guess my point is that it's like people are constantly pushing their agenda on you, no matter what it is, and it's all walks of life. It's not just a religious aspect or whatever. And they, my stance on a lot of that, and I think that just be you and just do your thing, and if let me just tell you this: if I grabbed Jeff and I opened up I'm not this, but if I did and I said, "Oh, we're here to help you with the Church of Satan," and I opened a tent out there, it would have started a war. Yep. And I would have just gave out, little wristbands and things, dude. Like, hey, believe in yourself. You need something, we're doing a food drive, But that would cause a problem, dude. So a lot of people, like I said, it was liberals and religious people, and some people that couldn't even speak English, running the rides for the kids. And you're like, I don't want to leave my children. I seen parents looking at like, I'm not going to let my kid go in that ride with these weird. What's going on with the world today, man? It's just totally different than it was. I just don't remember it being like that. It was like Lost Boys when I was a kid. We were looking for vampires and cool shit, and now it's
liberals were not the ones that were preaching the Lord. Those were far right conservatives.
I didn't say they were. Yes. I didn't say they were liberals. I just said everybody was out there.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
So like, there was a rainbow group and a religious group. There was a bunch of young guys with thigh huggers on that you like.
I love thigh huggers.
Okay. Well, all the guys now between 15 and 20 wear thigh huggers.
Use code ANT10 if you're shopping for thigh huggers.
And so they got, they've got shirts like, Revival and Christ is Lord and through all this. And then they come across another group of rainbow hair and fucking, you see them and they're getting ready to clash at the zebra exhibit.
They're worshiping.
Look at this. They're like this, and then they kind of
insane.
But they kind of all didn't know what to do. Like, they all got around each other, and then everybody was looking at it, and they kind of looked, and the religious kids were smiling, the other ones were angry, and it was like, nobody said anything. They're like, "Oh, excuse me, I want to give a carrot to the zebra." And it was like, "Say something. Let's do this. Swing."
They're fighting over whether it was white with black.
Some holy water, man. Take that backpack off.
But nothing happened. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Troy. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. But that's how it was out there. It was weird. It was just weird to me.
We used to get a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses. What's that?
The population is just different than I remember.
Absolutely.
Either that or I perceive things differently, Ant. I mean, that's, what I'm saying?
Yep. We used to get a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses where I went to college all the time, at least every couple of weeks. So we started answering the door naked just to see what would happen. And
Ant's going to become a Jehovah's Witness.
Like, what's up? You guys want to come in?
He's all talk.
I'll tell you what. You become a Jehovah's Witness, I will answer the door naked.
Done. I'm Jehovah.
Oh my God, he'll be ordained tomorrow online. Hold up. My favorite is when we go down to like what I think's interesting is those big cults like the Scientology.
Oh, Scientology.
Right, Scientology's crazy, right, B?
Talk about that.
Oh my God.
You can't.
Oh my Lord! But you
Have
go
you
to
ever
Plant
seen
City and the
the
whole
X-Men
town
movie?
is quiet, but there's Scientology buildings down there in Plant City, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's in,
and
Clearwater.
Clearwater is like
Clearwater
the
is
biggest.
owned downtown Clearwater.
When you go to Plant City, Florida, and you go down,
Yeah,
there's a
Plant City's bad, too.
gigantic Scientology temple there where they have the kids at the desks with the things on their head, and they do the. It's all right there. You can walk right by the window. They always smile at you like we live.
They had a booth
That's
at
like-
Restaurant
Wanna do a
one
test?
time with the
Wanna do an IQ
e-meter.
test?
They were
When I
having
lived
kids
in
with the e-meter.
When I lived in LA, we used to pass a Scientology church all the time for work. And I remember passing by and I'm like,
It's just a business, folks. There's no guy living on a planet with a bunch of
Oh
bitches. It's
my
just a
God.
business.
L. Ron
It's
Hubbard
so
was a
big.
financial genius and a lunatic.
100%.
Like
You
Joel
know?
Osteen. He's such a genius.
Oh my God, but they're all lunatics. Like I listened to a 4-part podcast. It was last podcast on the left about L. Ron. You get a chance, listen to it because the facets of fucked up and weird in this guy's life are unfathomable. He just like the Sea Org thing. He bought a huge boat, like a ship. Nobody knew how to sail it, and they just took it to sea. A bunch of Scientologists. It was L. Ron and a bunch of his assistants, which were girls and little sailors.
And if he was alive now, he'd be running for president against Hugh Hefner. Bro, why couldn't Hugh Hefner still be around and run for president? That would have been interesting, right?
Dude, apparently there's a whole scandal right now. His ex-wife is like,
I watched the documentary, and these old women are talking about Hef's in there banging dogs and all kinds of stuff. Did you watch it?
I have not watched it now.
Oh man, she's like, oh yeah, he brought the dogs and said dogs need pleasure too. I'm like, why couldn't you say that when he was alive and to defend himself now, man? How are you going to talk about the death? You don't know if he
they
did
always
that.
bring it up after they die so they can get this and they can't defend themselves.
I have a certain amount of respect for anybody who could rock a smoking jacket, ascot, and a pocket square at the same time and make it look good. And a pipe. And a girl on each arm. And
He was something, dude. He was something else, man.
All I'm saying is if you're not here to defend yourself, then it's null and void. Because people can say anything they want, and it's then so what? So that's the truth? How do we know that?
Holly Madison.
I would tell everybody Ant was straight. It was all an act.
I mean, she's obviously got no taste in men. She went from Hefner to Chris Angel.
You know, this always makes. I sent this the other day to you, and I'm not going to say it, but I sent it to you.
He's so ugly.
Watch, just watch Ant. 'Cause I'm going to
Angel.
reenact this, and I'm going to do Ant. I just don't want to be. I just don't want to be, sexualized or made special. But then these people walk around. Stop it! Don't even. Just stop it right now. Stop it right now. Oh, I'm not going to bring someone on a particular show because they may or may not do something that's in a bikini or whatever. But then you want to go do private porn shots with someone else? Listen, bro. I've seen people do shit, and I'm just tired of the fucking two-faced people everywhere. Just be who you are. Stop hiding behind a cloak because you're too insecure to live by yourself.
Troy, hold on. You got to give people context here. Hold on. Let me do that for you.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to put it out.
I'm going to do that because I speak out against this all the time.
Okay, please do.
Okay, if you are a consenting adult and you do whatever you do on your own time, being certain sites, you're a grown-ass person, you make your money, boo-boo, sell them pictures, be sexy, this, that, and the other thing, okay? But don't be somebody else. Speak out against that while also looking that way.
100%.
So if you are saying, I don't like women being sexualized while moving your neck back and forth, but I can see your fucking areola when I'm hanging out with you, shut the fuck up. You're null and void. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Thank you. Have a good day.
And let me, I want to say one more thing because I think Ant and I go back and forth on this. And actually, we were talking with Jimmy too, and Ant's Jimmy. And it was funny because he was like, he talked about straight relationship being so mushy because
it's different. It's
because
different.
listen, we're not like that. I don't live that way. I've never lived that way. Anyone knows me. There's never my partner to me is my partner, and they do them, and I do me. I don't have to go through 100 of them. I don't got to have one around. I don't got to be like, oh my God, I love you. I need you. Give me a fucking break. Just be yourself. And if that person can let you be yourself and you can be them, well, God damn it, dude, you got to think. Yep. But if you've constantly got to suck up to, oh, you're the best. You're the best. I love you.
But I
see diamonds in your eyes. I'll dig through your poop.
But here's the thing. And I have been questioned about this now because I am, for whatever reason, friends with people that are like super hyper focused into this like whole relationship world of shows right now. I don't care what you do in your relationship. I'm just calling out the bullshit. I am saying that the way gay men's relationships roll, and the way a man and a woman's relationship roll, even the way two women in a relationship, because you're adding that emotion from a woman. So automatically she's pissing on the tree to let every other bitch know that's my motherfucker right there. So that's already what women are going into this already in a relationship.
Yeah, I don't play that.
I have my partner's name in my phone as his first and last name. There's no hearts, my sugar, honey, boo boo shit.
I love it. Stop.
I hang out with straight couples, or hang out with my buddies who are straight. And when their significant other calls, it's like, my hottie, what, wifey, boo boo kitty, ... And I'm like, bro, what's her fucking name? Kelly? Great, Kelly. Like, does she need to know that she's in your phone that way? So she's pissing on it?
But dude, look at the people that do that, though,
I can't.
man.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. The group of friends that I hang out with that are in relationships, they don't need constant reassurance. And I don't want to be around them. And if your girlfriend or wife needs constant reassurance that you're not doing anything, it's probably not a good relationship for you. I'm sorry.
Like, you mean when you got friends that come to your house and they got to FaceTime to make sure they're really at your house?
Oh my God, dude. I don't play that shit at all.
Oh,
I have seen, bro, I have seen them on the phone like, I'm like, how long have
I'm not with another woman.
We've been together for 15 years. Ugh. Are you serious right now? You're calling her every minute? What the fuck did you not talk about? I take the phone and I'm like, hi, he's here. Go join bingo or knitting. Fuck off.
Oh, my phone conversations are usually, hi, how's it going? Good? Bye. You know,
it makes me not like women. Troy, I'm sorry, not you, Brett. It makes me just not like
other
women. Like, I never want that in my life, like, ever.
Yeah, nobody wants that on either side. And I think I understand. And when we talked about that when you were there, you know, two gay men are gay men, but they're coming at it with the same chemicals as a male. So
get to know each other, bro.
There are needy guys, bro. I've seen them too. There are needy guys that are just as bad. Where the girl's like, I can't get him to go the fuck away.
Yeah, I call it a rash. No matter how much you fucking put cream on it, it's never going to
touch me. Don't touch on me in public.
But men do get this way in relationships.
And don't touch me in public.
That's men's insecurity. Women do it emotionally, I feel, and men do it because they feel like if I'm not around this person 24/7, they're going to want to stray. It's them, you know, watching over their, you know, I hate to use the word, but they like proper, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's mine. And if I'm not like on her all day, all the time, like if we go to a party and I won't leave her side no matter what. And because I think some other guy's going to look at her or talk to her or want to fuck her.
But here's the thing. Who cares?
Exactly.
But here's the thing. If they're going to do that, if Britt's husband is going to do that, if your partner is going to do that, whether you're there or you're not there, it's going to fucking happen. So either you're in the right relationship or you're not. But you can't micromanage whether it's in any relationship.
It can become annoying.
It will, and if you're not doing anything, and it could push you to do something.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Fucking, I'm blamed all the time. I'm blamed all the time. I might
as well do it. Else. I mean, granted, that's an excuse, but I can't say that I haven't been in that position in my life.
Though, bro, it's a psyche thing. If I'm constantly accused of being an asshole, he's an asshole, and I'm always nice, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck that bitch. I'm gonna be an asshole tomorrow.
Sure.
Because I'm already getting accused of being an asshole. It's just like people call me, oh, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're an extremist, you're the, yep, I am, you're right.
You're homophobic. I love that one.
Yo, yeah, I get it all the
Do
time.
you ever gay bash yourself or?
All the time. I
I'm
beat
not talking
myself
about
up.
masturbation. That's
I beat myself up and then I go on trial like Jussie Smollett.
You call the police on yourself. You're like some conservative redneck just beat me up. I'm gay.
I just think it's like I see a lot of it, dude. And I remember we talked about PDA. I just don't think that you should be touching on
It's
people all the time,
weird.
dude. It's weird when they always have to touch you or hold your hand. It's weird to me.
And here's the
I
thing.
think human contact.
I'm fine with the whole hand holding thing. That's not a problem to me really that much.
About holding
But, like,
your hand
you're
in
already
when we're out.
together. Like you're already together. Like everyone doesn't need to know you're together. But here's my thing. To go off of the LGBTQ, right? The grooming of children. As you don't want 2 men or 2 women making out in public to groom children, get your fucking mouth off each other in public because it's the same. You're grooming children sexually.
That's true. And you know, but one reason I think it's one reason
learn behavior.
One of the things that I get a big kick out of when 2 dudes make out in public is the reaction.
It's weird. I mean, it's sick. I wouldn't.
The reaction of other people, Aunt. Getting all pissed off.
But
and I'm like, look at that guy, bro. He's going to shit his pants. He's so pissed off.
I think it's inappropriate because, and sorry to interrupt you, Jeff, but I think it's, with my partner and I always thought it was inappropriate for us specifically. I speak for us because we're not obviously a straight couple. We don't think it's appropriate because I don't want kids to see that, because why am I going to open a line of conversation with a parent and their kids right now? Right. When maybe they weren't ready to have that conversation yet, and that's not up to me to spark that fucking.
And that's a very mature attitude. It's an attitude that says, like, you know, a lot of people do it because people say they can't, and I get that, you know, but you're right. I don't make out in public. I mean, I can't say that I haven't had a few pops and done it, but you know, I just like I'll kiss somebody on the lips in public, you know, if I feel like kissing them, but you know, I don't jam my tongue down their throat.
Well, that's different though. I think what he's saying is different. I mean,
right.
What Anthony is like, where it's like real, it's heavy, like they're getting sweaty, little beads of sweat, and you know, grab.
I think it's uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, I'm weird. I think it's hilarious when they do it, especially when it's same sex, because it pisses everybody off. And I love chaos. I'm like the Joker. I'm like, look at them. They're all fucking mad. It's so great.
I know. I love that about you. I love that about you.
You know what's funny? Go ahead. Sorry.
That's what we believe, and we don't do that. I know somebody in here said, what was I wanted to touch on something.
Right. Why is 2 chicks hot and 2 guys isn't? You know what's funny about that? The same guys that would see 2 guys making out and be like, oh my God, those deviant guys, look at them, they're making out. If they saw 2 girls making out, they'd start whipping dollar bills out of their fucking pockets and gather around.
100%.
You know,
and if you guys want to go a little bit back in time, maybe we'll go around some ancient history and Roman times. It was actually hot for 2 men to be together. Actually, the Spartans and the Romans and the Greeks, they all fucked each other. Sorry. Yeah. They just
but thank God got all pissed off and blew up a volcano.
Hold on. They just didn't wait, Troy. They just didn't need a whole community and a flag to tell everybody. They just did it low key.
Right.
What's really funny too is like if people actually look back, you know, they had like coins with like sexual positions for guys, girls, whatever. If you were wanting a guy, if you wanted a girl, there were coins with the positions on there, and you would go to these like secret temples where these things would kind of go down. Yeah. Not just Pompeii, all over, like Rome, Greece.
They still do that today. There's neighborhoods like that. Put your keys in the
I'm just saying, it's just interesting. Like people are like,
I got a pineapple upside down on my door.
All I'm saying is like everybody like freaks out, but it's like this was historical. This was orgies came from. This is where all this stuff came. Like it was a big deal, and like these little coins were given at a door, and they'd be like, "Come on in, he's in the back," and it's like, you know.
Because all that shit started somewhere, and I want to make a comment. Brittany. All that shit started somewhere with somebody making a decision that was inaccurate because it was tolerated in Pompeii. Nobody went and killing anybody because they were 2 men or 2 women or, you know, polyamorous, whatever you want to say. But in the animal kingdom, there's all that stuff goes on. All of it. Everything that we think is terrible goes on in the kingdom, and we're just animals. And they say that we do things better. Now, I, for one, have never in my life, and anyone who's ever known me, including my parents, got on the wagon of picking on someone because of their sexual preference. That's just not my thing. I don't, that's never been a thing. I don't understand why it bothers people. This is my mind. I was simple. I go, well, if they like that as much as I like what I like, well, good for them.
Yeah.
Right? Like I liked women when I was young. I still do. I didn't want children women. You shouldn't want little boys or little girls.
Kids,
That's just ridiculous. But because I think children should be left alone to be when they grow up to do what their thing is, and whatever they want to do is on them. And I think they should be left. And what your aunt said about showing off, making out, and being sexual in public is true. Kissing someone on the cheek or holding a hand straight, gay, whatever.
Like
it's nothing
that you won't even notice. I'm not saying that. Like a pack,
hand jobs in the theater and a popcorn bucket. That's not right.
Right. But I mean, we can't say that we've never done that. So listen.
Well, Aunt.
I mean, when you're young and dumb, but I mean, as adults, as functioning adults, we know what's right and what's wrong. And
what's up, Paul? I love you, buddy.
And stuff like that. But here's Troy and I had this conversation before. Because we're you said the animal kingdom, we're animals, right?
Sure.
Everybody throughout their life has different experiences. There might be something that you might do in your 30s that you didn't do in your teens. There might be 100%. Something in your 40s and your 50s that you might experience and experiment and do this and that. Who else needs to know this?
I agree. I hate virtue signaling in all its forms.
Why does anybody? I find women emotionally a wreck, physically beautiful. I do think that women are beautiful. I think that they have way more strength physically than men do internally because they can bear children and they go through all these things, right? That we can't.
Someone's gonna hate you for that one, dude. Someone's gonna hate you for that one.
I don't care. I mean, women but really, I mean, we can't. Can you imagine men with menstrual cramps? Like, there's no fucking.
Oh my god, bro, you got to mind all. I'm dying over here.
Right, but in today's society, I have to identify as a gay man because I want to, in a relationship, only be with a guy. I don't want to be with a woman. In a relationship. Have I done all the things? Absolutely. I'm an animal. I'm an animal. I mean, none of it is disgusting to me. You know what I'm saying? None of it is gross. None of it is disgusting.
Yeah, just do your thing.
It's just nobody's business. That's all.
My only thing is always. Oh, and now he's gone again.
Business.
Business. Just do your business.
He just likes that was his way of dropping the mic. He just dropped the mic and left.
He did his mic.
Bam, boop. We're like, oh, he's gone. He comes back.
This must be Paul. I do like Christy Nome. I think she's gorgeous.
Paul Wimmer is a friend of mine. I grew up with Paul when we were kids. We had a really good time, man.
Is he? And another one of my crushes is Kaylee McEnany.
I don't know who that is. I saw my old school celebrity crushes. Jamie Presley.
I remember her.
Yep, especially in the movie Poor White Trash or in My Name is Earl.
She was actually just at MegaCon. She was there doing autograph signing. Yeah,
Brittany Murphy, but like seedy Brittany Murphy in like 8 Mile or Sin City. Oh my God, Sin City, when she comes out of the bathroom and she's got the little blood trickle. Not that I like beating women, just something about her. She's just hot, you know. And
oh my gosh.
I have a soft spot for Jennifer Aniston.
I actually do too. So where were we now? Now that we're
you digress into who was being sexy or whatever, but yeah, and I agree with you. Just I think that if people would just act like they do, like some people just squeeze too much fucking blood out of a fucking rock, and it's like they say stuff and you're like, you fucking liar, man, because you already know. You can already see, like I can read people, and I already see the insecurities of somebody in the first few minutes I'm talking to them. So if they're trying to give me advice, I'm like, I already know what you are. I've seen this pattern. I already know. Because I spent my lifetime doing that, figuring out patterns and understanding what areas I was going into and understanding my life around me and who was being malicious and who wasn't, who really was an underdog and who was a liar and who was you see that stuff, and I'm not going to say that I haven't made mistakes. I haven't. Maybe I've tried to help people I shouldn't, and maybe I hurt people I didn't mean to hurt. But along the way, I learned a lot of things. But when someone's giving back advice, dude,
not really a mistake, is it?
no, and you know, I couldn't be, you know, you can't be a person that's in their 50s and dating like a 19-year-old girl and have them give advice. Shut the fuck. What the fuck you're doing, dude? Shut the fuck up with what you're doing.
Not even touching this one.
Stop it. It doesn't matter how big they get. We're like, I don't care how big it is. It's young. I've got to hold on to it. I'm sorry, Aunt. I get a little excited sometimes. That's why I stick with animal stuff, and you know, I don't get involved with people because it's just one of those things that can be just, you know how it can be. It's just, they piss me off. Animals can really piss me off, but it's okay. But when a person does half of it, I just don't want to see the world again. So I stick with animals and cryptid animals that Brittany likes to look at. Things that may not even be there, I look for.
Yeah, that's all me. I stay in the paranormal because, frankly, the outside world sucks. So
well,
you're never going to find anything bad. No, I'm just saying in general, cryptid falls into paranormal. It's just the whole paranormal space. It's like that is where I just choose to live because when I turn on the news, it's depressing and horrible, and I can't sleep and I get anxiety. I go outside and I turn on the radio. It's anxiety. It's disgusting. It's horrible. I turn on my phone. It's like nothing. I just turn on my Apple Music. I'm like, screw everything else. But it's just like I don't want to be consumed with this. I have enough stress as a parent right now with dealing with everything else in my life. I don't want to listen to all this. I'm like, I'm good with like hanging out with what I've got and then just focusing on the paranormal space and doing my work.
I mean, I think it'd be cool if Ann had a kid. Can you imagine a little Ann?
No, I would go to jail because I wouldn't want anybody talking to them. And I wouldn't.
I don't even know if they make American flag.
I wouldn't want anybody talking to them.
Dude, people are crazy. These people nowadays are so fucking creepy that like I don't know how parents can be parents right now because
it's hard.
I feel like when our parents were parents, it was such a different time. And now, my own nieces and nephews go to the bathroom in a public restaurant, and I'm like, I'll come with you when I stand outside the bathroom because.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You got to.
Yeah, you don't fucking know.
No, I know. I was with Finn, and Finn was like, I use the big boys' bathroom. I'm like, not when it's just mommy and sissy. You're going in the sissy bathroom. And he was like, oh. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. I don't know who's in there. And I say it loud. I don't care who hears me. And I'm like, no, because I don't know who's in there. And I don't trust people with little kids anymore. And you're alone and you're 7. And he's like, okay, I get it. Stranger danger. I'm like, yeah.
Right. And, yeah.
And you know, those kids are in there asserting dominance, dude. They pull their pants down to their ankles and they pee in the urinal, dude. That's like a buffet for some of those guys, dude. I don't blame you.
Pervs. They've got pervs in there and he's in there alone. Hell no.
Dude, not only that, you know, so when you walk into a men's bathroom and it's the stalls first, right? They have a shorter one for kids and small people. And then they have, you know, the normal ones, right? When I walked in there was maybe like a 10-year-old, and he was at the kid one. So in my mind, naturally, I'm like going to the stall. Like I went, busted a right, went to the stall. Guy walks in, some random dude, and goes to the urinal and stands right next to the kid. Well, in my mind, that's weird. Because I was like, why would he do that? Like, why wouldn't you just go to
pee in the urinal? Maybe.
No, but he could have went one over, or but you see.
I always do the one urinal buffer out of respect for other people.
Correct, right. But now we're throw a kid into the mix.
It's bad.
Bad.
It's just bad. It's just.
I would just walk away just because you just never know, man. You know what I'm saying?
I would have if the stalls were all taken, and if I was a guy, I'd be like, I'm gonna step outside till that 10-year-old leaves. It could wait a minute. I'm gonna take a minute.
But you would think, as an adult walking into the bathroom, you would just automatically be like, there's a child there. I'm gonna go into this. Like in your mind, you'd be like, I'm going to the private.
I mean, it has happened before. I mean, you know, like where you be on the road sometimes, Aunt, and you're not allowed to laugh. I tell you the story. But you'll see some little kid at the urinal there working hard, just trying to take a pee, and we don't give a fuck. We just got to piss. So we walk in there, dude. You're like burping, looking at your phone, and that little kid is like,
that's true. Yeah.
This guy's cool. I know. I play with my phone while I'm taking a piss at the urinal. I'm like, I wonder if people think that's weird.
And then the little kid gets like, he tells his brother, man, they were farting in there loud, man. It was funny.
Yeah.
Like if you go to a theme park and all that, I mean, they just do that. They just walk in. What about when you got to piss in a barrel of ice? You ever seen that?
Oh my God.
That's like at baseball games.
Everybody's swinging dicks together. Ding, ding. Hey, how's yours looking? Yours go.
The Trough. That was
Baseball
80s bar.
games.
That was 80s
Yeah.
bar staple right there.
Yeah, dude.
Trough.
Fucking Wrigley Field when I was a kid.
Oh, I've been to
was
Wrigley
literally a trough. And you
Yeah.
looked directly across from each other. And I'll never forget, my dad walks in there. My dad's a shy guy. Like, he was the guy that, like, ran from the shower to the bedroom. Like, we never
My
saw
dad
him
was
naked.
like that. My dad was really
We
modest
never
like
saw my dad naked. Like, the one time we did, and he was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, he was pissed. So we walk in the bathroom. He looked, and he's holding my hand because I'm like 7 years old. And I look up at him, and I was like stunned. And he goes, we're going to wait for the stalls. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Because you didn't want to stand there. Yeah, when you're eye to eye, and you're just sitting there playing that game at the fair where you're trying to shoot the liquid in the little hole to blow up the balloon, but you're face to face with somebody, bro. That's just
Why would
horrible.
they make
dude.
urinals like
That
that? I
John,
guess the
John was
balloon
that
pops
was
would be
like
pretty
some of
gross.
John's like memories with his dad going to those games up at Wrigley Field. He told me that whole story, like how you have to go up to the trough. He's like, it made me a man that day.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, because
Like,
John
oh
gives
my
no
God.
fucks now. He doesn't care now.
The problem
No.
with the double-sided
He's
trough
still very polite.
is like a
about it.
shootout where there's two people on the same side and then another group in the middle. You got to watch the
But here's-
crossfire, man.
here's
You don't
the
have to
kicker,
stand
though.
there,
Now,
but
wait a
you
minute.
gotta
Here's
watch
the-
the crossfire.
You know what?
Here's-
Now I'm
What's up,
old.
buddy? Good to see you.
But now I'm old enough to the point where I really don't give a fuck now. But then it was just a different
Well,
time.
you're a kid. But here's the kicker too. Like with women, we only have stalls, and I think it's funny. Like we used to have these conversations all the time where it was like men never speak in the bathroom. Like you do not talk.
Although they
But
do side eye
girls-
sometimes and they always get caught.
But girls will talk to each other through the stalls, share pictures underneath the stalls, talk about stuff all the time, or talk like if we're in a Hobby Lobby, we'll talk about stuff that we've seen out there
Well,
that
what
we
kind
like.
of pictures?
Like we like it's
Yeah,
not.
they have full
It's like
conversations.
normal. It's like normal thing, and then you make a friend leaving the bathroom. Like it's no big deal for girls to like make conversation in the bathroom. It's just not the same thing as
Well,
it is for guys. Like it's a
I-
huge difference. Like all my guy friends, are like that's a no,
I-
no,
I-
unless you walk in with a bro.
What happens?
Like-
What happens when RuPaul comes into the stall next to you? What do you guys talk about?
Nice shoes.
Look down and be like, nice dick
No, I
player.
was just thinking that if you can usually see these guys that are kind of like tool bags that wear like a button-up shirt and plaid shorts and flip-flops. You come next
Yeah.
to me in a urinal and you're wearing flip-flops. My goal is to splash them toes, buddy.
Oh, dude, men's
Aw,
bathrooms.
poor
I will
John.
splash your fucking toes if you, because you know those guys that like to do the wide stance. They take your side too. You ever seen that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like they'll go to a urinal and their feet are over there, and you're like, okay, bitch, you just drip a little on the side. Don't be coming over here.
The foot
It's a splash zone. better go
splash,
ahead on.
splash mountain.
Better
Oh,
go
Do
ahead
you
on.
guys have like barriers between, or
They-
is
they
it
used
just
to,
They
no?
don't anymore.
It depends. It depends.
Some-
They don't
Yeah.
anymore?
There used to be more barriers like all the time when I was a
Not,
kid.
not really anymore. They're just on the wall.
Yeah.
Now they're just on the wall.
Wow. Okay.
It's like a glory hole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you're supposed to do with that hole in the wall?
I just
With all the-
wait. I
What
was
did you
waiting
do
on
with
that.
it?
I
What
was
did
waiting.
you
man.
do with it?
Me?
No, he's like, is that what you were supposed to do with it?
Oh, I never even got. I got scared of them because I always think there's a mustache on them lips, and I leave.
I don't know if you've ever seen. I don't know if you're. Yeah, they're like,
my
"Hi,
God.
my name's Susan. Go ahead and stick it through."
Oh, wait,
Um,
hold on, wait. I think I told Troy this. I want to break it to every man who's ever been to a glory hole. I'm so sorry to break it to you. There's never going to be a woman on the other side. of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm-
Even
I'm
if
really
there is,
sorry to
it's a
break it
bait
to you
and switch,
guys.
right?
I guarantee probably 100% of the time ain't a girl on the other side of that. Unless you're in a fucking truck stop bathroom and maybe a lot lizard. guy.
Here's one thing I want to ask because you know
A
you're into a
lot
political thing.
lizard?
I'd probably rather get
A lot
bitten by
lizard is
a
a lot lizard. You know what it is, but no, seriously, Aunt.
I do.
Why do all the
No.
politicians, dude? Why do all the politicians? They always get caught doing it.
Why did they get caught doing it?
Well, why do they always go to like a rest area or something to do it? They got all this money. They can't just rent like a nice boat and go 50 miles
Fear,
out.
dude. It's compulsion. You can't fight compulsion.
Correct.
I
Yeah,
guess it's got to be that good because I'm like, bro, I'd rather stay in bed, fucking eat chips.
Why would anybody go to one of those seedy ass places like that anyway?
Listen, man, I was over there at the Sunshine Skyway Bridge in Tampa.
Download people.
We rode motorcycles over there one night. It was a bunch of us, and we were with our friend, and you know, he's kind of, you know, he's a little modest, and there was a security kind of cop there, and so we like, oh, this is cool, you know. We were shining a light into the water. He goes, listen, just don't go to the right over there, down in the bushes. That we call that Pickle Island.
Pickle Island.
And he was dead fucking serious. He was dead serious.
It?
Yeah, he said we call it Pickle Island. That's where like the guys go down in there to play with each other and stuff. So he's like, you don't want to get the wrong idea. You don't want a guy sitting down in the shrub like, hey, come on in here. I'm ready.
Yeah, when it
So he was like,
so guys are
no, listen, bro. He just said if you go over there, man, it's Pickle Island. That's what he said. And then I looked it up and I found all kinds of shit on Reddit about Pickle Island. I was like, oh
Pickle
my God,
Island.
lying, dude.
There was a big controversy where I grew up because the hookup spot, the cruising spot, was the Vietnam War Memorial in New Haven at the wharf. And they all the vets would be like, there's condoms all over the memorial. Sausage sanctuary. Dude. So
I think every city has these places.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
And I think that every guy who'd go to a glory hole knows, but it's that cognitive dissonance that you don't want it to be. Did you ever see Louis C.K.'s show on Comedy Central? Louis.
Yes.
No.
He goes.
Yes, you would love that show, Ant. You would love. I'm going to send you a clip.
There's a guy sticking his dick in a glory hole, and it says paradise above it. And Louis walks up to him. He goes, "Are you really going to stick your dick in there?" He goes, "It says paradise."
God.
I like, dude. There was a whole. I'll send it to you off the air, Ant. He was.
Okay.
It was classic. It was absolutely. You will laugh. There was so many stuff he did in that show. It was pretty funny. But yeah, we digressed a little bit talking about stuff like that because that's just the world today, man. Like that's just the world. No matter how we try to hide from it, that's what people do. And they act a little weird. Got Jeff Kemp's a great guy, by the way. I love Jeff. He's one of the coolest. And he's supposed to be bringing some big badass electric dirt bikes around. So I can't wait to be tearing into some ground.
Oh, damn, that sounds fucking awesome.
Am I going to meet Jeff?
Jeff Kemp or Jeff? When you come up, you can meet that Jeff. Are you talking about Jeff here? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, when are you coming?
Yeah, Jeff.
We'll be there at the end of the month.
End of March?
Mm-hmm.
I should be around.
Okay.
Around the way.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be there with you guys are coming there. I'm gonna try to get us into a a spooky place, and I'll invite Jeff. Jeff Kemp can come by too, man. We'll all hang out and get some laughs. I think
that's what I was saying. Both Jeffs.
Yeah, Jeff Kemp's cool dude.
That's
man.
A lot of Jeff.
Jeff's got some cool stories because he actually owned a house across from the Edward Scissorhands house, and he lived in a neighborhood they filmed Edward Scissorhands in for like forever, and now he has a beautiful home now in the water. So God bless you for that. But he used to live across from it, and I guess they redid it, man. And
wait, that's a real neighborhood?
Yeah, he lived the house. We can go see the house, dude. We can go see it right up here in Lutz. It's right by us in Lutz.
Oh, it's near me.
You're lying. I gotta go.
No, I'm serious. Jeff lived across the street from it.
Bro, we gotta go. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll
go see the Edward Scissorhands neighborhood.
Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it still you remember he just left the neighborhood, but didn't they? He was telling me, he said, oh boy. He used to tell me that there were people that still had photos of Johnny Depp and all them in the end of the neighborhood that lived there the whole time. They've still lived there of when the people were on break, and he had pictures with them and hanging out. So it was pretty cool. What's up, Seth? Good night, buddy. And he said it was pretty good. So I think we should definitely run around and see some shit like that.
I'm down. I'll tell you. I'll send you my schedule, Troy, and let me know.
I'll do that for you. We're gonna have to rent a van or something. Then the only one who's got a vehicle big enough to cart us around is Brittany. Of course, she has to drive one of the biggest fucking high-end government SUVs.
When you are
blacked out with movie screens in every seat.
She's the one
thing. There's a little person in the back that will wipe you down if you're sweaty. The fuck out of here.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you now.
I'm still here. I just turned the camera off for a second.
But yeah, so we'll definitely do that. Yeah, Jeff said yes. I'll hook you guys up with a guy that has all the photos. I'm sure you're interested in that, Ant.
That's right.
You're saying when you come, Ant, you're staying, I believe, in the 80s room. Are you going to stay in the 80s room? Okay.
Yeah.
The 80s room at your house?
Yeah.
No,
I love that room.
Am I going to see Britt?
She doesn't care about you that much to come up. I'm sorry.
I can't wait.
She lives even further than I do.
You and I have been talking about that, Troy.
We have been. What have we been talking about? Are you going to come stay and go do some shit overnight?
No, you and I were talking about when he came up what we were trying to plan to do.
Okay, yeah, we got you covered, man. But we'll definitely go. The first night you get here, I'll call Jeff and we'll run over to Lutz because it's not far from me.
Lutz.
I'll get a hold of Jeff and Jeff. I'll get a hold of both Jeffs, dude.
Yeah,
It'll be the Fantastic Jeffs.
We can make a movie called Ant Between Two Jeffs.
Oh my god, this is really funny just to have like a voice coming in like
Oh man, you know,
in the background without being seen.
He's like, ha ha. Yeah, I heard him. But yeah, that would be really good. For those of you, the secret voice in the background is the conservative Andy still out there saying some crazy stuff.
There's a thing where your face used to be. It says canceled by the Biden administration.
Oh, probably.
But yeah, I think we'll have some fun, and we're working on a couple things, Ant. That's one of the reasons you said you were burnt out. I was calling you today because I was putting something together, and I wanted to make sure I could make it a particular day that you get here. So that's all that was. It was just a lot to text, so we'll catch up tomorrow or something when you're not quite so gassed out on the phone.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason it's been like today mass freak out and people think, well, we'll just call Ant because the phones are down, like I work for AT&T or something.
Yeah, but you got to remember, dude, you got a following, and they just, you're preacher Ant, dude. You better come on in a fucking preacher suit with a cross and everything.
I would never be a preacher.
Hello, I am Father Ant.
I was named after St. Anthony, though. We talked about that.
I know, but you're Father Ant, dude. You're Father Ant.
I do not want to be a Father Ant. Nope. Sorry.
What about Daddy Ant? That's where you want
to
go.
Now, Jeff, now we're talking.
I can hear some little sounds there while you turn that camera off there, Slick.
It sounds like
I'm actually, I didn't want you, listen, I'm a professional. I had to smoke a cigarette, so I didn't want you to see me doing that.
I'm okay with that. You'll have a bunch of people here wanting to go out and smoke cigarettes because you do it.
Ant's picture when he texts or calls me, I made a picture for him. It's a little ant holding an American flag driving a Ford pickup truck. So it's like,
I love it.
Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, Ant has a pretty cool pickup truck. By the way, he's got a nice Ford F-150.
I've seen it.
There's a song about that. I'll send you, Brittany. It's called My F-150. I played it for Ant. He loved it. But anyways, he has it. It's called Area 51 Blue, right? Is that the color?
That's the color. Yeah.
There you go.
And I got to drive it to Miami. It was a great time. He filmed videos the whole time. But it was a really good time. We had a good time driving down there and stuff. We had fun. But we only went to North Miami, so that's not really Miami, dude. That's like the outskirts of Fort Lauderdale. A little bit different.
Yeah, you're right.
You go all the way down in there, dude. It's a lot different down there.
Where do you live?
I like South Florida because of the animals.
No, I'm in Fort Myers, but I was on we had a show. I had a show in Miami. So Troy and I drove over together, and I used to live.
We just didn't want you to get hurt. We don't want you to get hurt.
Hmm?
That's it, Jeff. I just went with him so nobody would hurt him. You never know.
I was like, what? Oh, was it a live show or?
He was like my bodyguard.
It was a live show, but there was an invite somewhere. But somebody like, hey, let's invite Ant, and then we'll beat the shit out of him and put it on social media. So I kind of went along to make sure that kind of stuff doesn't happen,
right?
Because I'm not as crazy as they are. And for those of you who don't think so, or you just don't even know.
Yep.
And he sat in the corner the whole time and breathed really heavy. He was like,
I left. Actually, I went into the other room because it was weird to me.
That's what a real man does. Protects his friends no matter what.
Jeff, you couldn't make it, so I had to call Troy.
That's when Troy just plays the room and he's like, "Don't worry, what was that? Okay, I'm gonna be. They need me in the car."
Right. But he didn't actually have an earpiece. He's like,
"Yeah, he does."
A couple guys walking around. We don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, I sat in the other room and there was I just sat in the other room. There was a picture on the wall in the hallway, and I could see exactly where Ant was sitting at the chair next to another dude. I knew exactly what he was doing, so I just sat in that couch relaxing. And then,
exactly what he was doing. You saw.
Yep, I was watching him, dude. I was watching because you just never know. And then it got smooth, and once you really got to see it and shit, and I was looking through everything that he was on. I was backtracking stuff because, listen, man, I don't know. You just never know. They're like, just go outside. We've got some stuff out in the back, Yeah. Dude. You never know what you're gonna walk out to, dude. A camper and a guy in overalls. You know what the fuck's gonna happen, dude. You don't know.
Or we have some promotional gear we would really like to give you. Will you guys come right through the store here and we'll show you all the
we have a bedroom.
Yeah, right.
Set up for you. Then you're
happens in LA a lot.
Yeah, so that's why we went along, and it was a good place. And sometimes you got to vet that stuff, and as busy as you get to, and I understand.
No matter what, you let me know if you ever need another hand.
I can always use another hand, Jeff.
I knew you were going to do that. Fucking, why did I know? Why did I?
I
knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I just knew it.
I walked in there to eat ice cream, and the ice cream glob just fell on the floor.
But yeah, definitely, guys. I'll wrap it up. But yes, we'll definitely plan that. Everybody, I'll let everybody know. And obviously, I don't want people who are watching the show. There's some people get, but I want to come. That's not a thing. And I know Ant's is a personal friend of mine, and so he can meet my inner circle, same way he does with us. And it just takes time, and not it's not to be offensive or anything, but I have very close friends in my life that I will introduce Ant to, and then there's some people I know, and it's just I don't know you that well, so don't be all hurt about it. But that's just how we go with that. I'm sorry, man. It's got to be the real deal, just tell the truth. But yeah, we'll be together at the end of the month. We'll be doing a little bit of running around, and hopefully Ant will be filming some of that. And
word,
you guys will get to see what he's doing and what we're up to and what we're about. So we're definitely going to find that out.
I just ordered. Well, Jimmy just ordered it from me. I'm gonna bring my. I just got this. What's it called? Like a gimbal or something?
The Osmo.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like one of those like things that turns with you and makes a steady.
Yeah, you charge it, holds on, it works real good. It's a good thing to have. Follows you around, you can stand it up. Yeah, just make sure that that we give Jimmy some time to take his socks off. That's
he loves that.
The best part of the day, Troy. The best part of the day is I get to take my socks off.
Yeah,
I love it.
Jimmy's the easiest. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the easiest. Like, men just have the easiest relationship. Like, he comes home and he's like, I just want to sit on the other side of the couch and not fucking talk. Like, and it's great. Like, it's wonderful. Like,
because Ant can't talk because he's on the phone. Busy as shit. You can't talk anyway because you're busy as shit on the phone.
No,
this is Ant. Okay, that's right.
Hold on. I consciously try though to shut it down.
What was that?
I consciously try to shut it down when he gets home, but we don't really need to be like in each other's face. Like it's just like, oh, how was your day? Oh, it's great. Oh, I can't wait to take my socks off. He takes the socks off, and feed him dinner, and then we end up on the couch on opposite ends of the couch.
Everybody likes the corner.
Yep. And that's a big ass couch too, man. You can fit a family of 10 on there.
That will be great for Ant when he's sitting on an alligator. Oh Lord, there better be tape around that mouth. I'm telling you right now.
I hope not.
Nah.
I'd like to see both of you sitting on that alligator. You and Jimmy both.
Nah,
but he has to just have his socks on.
Better be tape. Wait,
yeah, we'll definitely put that together. I'm excited about that. And Brittany and I'll be busy this week, and then this coming week we'll be a little tied up, and then maybe a lot more tied up. So we're just really busy, but. When everything's open for you, bro. Everything.
Yep. Well, not everything.
Everything.
I mean, everything.
We'll find you whatever you need, bud. We got you.
Ant's covered.
Covered.
In the blood of the Holy Ghost, people. Don't get your mind out of the gutter right now. But yeah, so we'll definitely wrap up the show. You guys sit tight. We're an hour and a half in, and I really love it. We've had a good time, and sometimes digression is good because we get to talk about things. You kind of get to see people how they really are. Brittany doesn't say much of that stuff, and that's good for her because she's maintaining a professional thing. But
I never get a chance.
She's the. Well, you can tell us about our women's bathrooms clean.
No.
Oh, you walk. Some of them are. You walk in and they have the lobby of the Four Seasons before you even get.
I want to circle back to the bathrooms.
I was just saying you didn't get to talk. I just figured,
You're right about that, Jeff. Too.
There's like a 3-piece,
just
string trio, and
the ghosts of the violinists on the
right. Yeah, we get it once in a while. We get a guy with like some cologne, a thing of cigarettes,
and a dirty ass tuxedo with one side.
That's not true. Yeah. Girls don't flush, and they're dirty, and they pee on the seats. So
they
don't
hover.
sit there and think.
And they talk about us.
The hover makes a mess. Just listen. That all you need to do is just take some toilet paper if you're so worried about it and line the seat for 2 seconds before you pee. But don't sit here and pee all over the floor and pee on the thing, and then don't flush the toilet on your time of the month. Yeah, no, thanks. Like this happens a lot.
So you're telling me they'll legit shoot a mud missile on the back of the seat and let it sit there like a Hershey's Kiss?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like don't think that go in the bathroom and they're like,
I bet it's even worse at a theme park. The shit they eat, dude.
No.
Yeah, deep fried Twinkies fire out pretty bad.
Listen,
if you want to feel alive, you walk into one of those porta potties at a fair. You look down in that hole.
Virus.
Good.
We've had groups come through,
children in the bottom of those things.
Where if all the stalls were taken, they would sit on the sink and pee. So, and I'm being honest with you, girls have done this. if
That's
the
like
stalls are
guys shitting
taken
in
and they have to
urinals.
go, they sit up on the sink in peace.
Yeah,
So
we
don't
call
sit
that
here
a
and
ghost
think that girls
smoking a
are
cigar.
so clean. They're not. I get grossed out when I go into.
Yeah, when you see
sometimes.
men will shit in the urinals, Brittany, they will go lay a bomb in the urinal, dude. They'll put a mud snake in there. So when we'd walk in, we'd be like, "Yo, there's a ghost smoking a cigar." We all knew what that meant, like someone shit in the
Right?
urinal.
And then you
yeah.
got a laser.
It looks like a big mouth open a cigar hanging out of it.
I don't think I've ever seen
They're
that.
so
before.
Makes
gross.
me laugh. When I go in there and there's a fucking deuce in there, dude, I'm just like,
How about when people throw up in the urinal, like in bars and shit? You're like, Jesus Christ, you just stuck your face in a goddamn urinal.
Oh,
With a
They
steaming
don't care.
urinal.
They're drunk. They don't
And I
care.
don't do
They're
it, but
drunk.
most of the guys, when you walk in
don't
the
even
bathroom, they'll
remember.
spit in the damn thing. They spit in it like
That's
I got
paradise.
spit in there.
Oh, jeez.
Gotta spit in the urinal.
We're simple creatures.
It's so gross. It's so gross.
But anyways, we had a good time. Yes, Ant's going to be with us at the end of the month. We'll go out there and have a pretty good time doing that. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think we'll have a good time.
Yeah, that's my dog.
I think we'll have a good time. I'm looking
End of
forward
the
to
month-
seeing
End
everybody.
of the month is next week, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's next
Yeah.
weekend.
Crazy.
Yep.
Oh, you'll be down next weekend?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep, it's next week. That's when you planned. So
First week of March. Okay. I keep thinking we're in March. So
no, it's the end. It's the end.
No, it's
Nope.
the 28th, 29th. I think we're like
The 28th through the 1st.
Yeah, 28th, 29th, 1st.
January went really slow, and then February like hit the throttle. I don't know.
I
what
just want to
happened
get
there.
through February, March because
Are
it's
we
so hard
doing-
on the animals.
Are we doing some spooky shit?
So
Yes.
Yeah.
28th through the 1st. Let me see what days I'm off, if I'm off.
Brittany's
bet.
bringing all the gear, dude.
You bet your bottom dollar there, sweetheart.
But hold on, do we have somebody that can take like legit camera footage of this happening?
Yes, I mean, we can work that
I'm
out.
sure we
Like
could
a
work it
videographer?
out.
Because
yeah.
then we can like put together some reels. You know what I'm saying?
I'm off the 29th,
I'm sure we could get someone to film it.
Thursday.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I could bring someone to get the film. I could get someone to bring. We could work that out. Yep.
Let's
So
do
we can
something.
focus on what we're doing, and we need to get some footage of real. I want
Yeah,
to.
We just
because I don't
we
wanna
just want to
have-
make sure that we don't have a ton of people there because
No,
it
I'm
will
not
take
doing that.
away from what we're doing.
Not doing
No,
it.
I just
Only
don't want to
thing,
have
yeah.
my phone out.
Well, I'm
I
not
would
going to
rather
tell
have
anybody
some-
where we're at.
I would have.
Yeah,
I
no.
would. But I would rather have somebody record some B-roll and then us in there doing it, like so that I can be in the moment, and then we can cut up and slice up some reels and have them to shoot out. And we'll talk about this after.
Yeah, because you want to see how. You want to see how you be in there. I want to see. My goal is to see you have an experience in there. That's what I want.
Okay, well, let's just make sure nothing comes home with me because every time you come,
You
here,
won't. Nothing will come
No,
home. We'll be fine.
you have no idea. Every time me and Troy are together, the energy that we pull together. Am I lying, Troy?
No, and we're not even doing it, Brittany. Like, there's no paranormal shit.
There's no.
Right.
just
that's-
watching
Sometimes
TV.
you don't have to. Sometimes
No,
you don't have
we-
to. It's physical energy that
Well, the
brings
TV,
it.
I've seen Poltergeist. I know how that works.
But when he
Yeah,
leaves,
exactly.
when he leaves, both entities leave both of us. So, or whatever
Mhm.
entity comes, and it's not, he's not bringing it. It's because we're together. It's the most.
Some weird
Some-
shit happened. I'll tell you one quick story,
some-
Brittany.
Well, just real quick, some people, when they're together, the energy they create is like an EM pump. And what an EM pump is, it just constantly puts out electronic
You need to
field
get that on a shirt,
waves
big boy.
all the way through, like through the
I'm
energy,
like
through the
Liam.
space, through the frequencies, right? So
Yes.
when that happens, it
Extra manly.
has a tendency to rip the veil because it makes the veil very thin and it allows
veil.
those on the other side to come through
Mambo.
easier when that is happening. And people's energy can do that. That's why we have poltergeist activity and people don't realize it. So when two people are together and they have that same type of frequency, then there you go.
They're here.
Go potties?
Mumbo left some
I
hair
do
on your
have to go
friend
potties.
Barbie when she showed up. It was funny. When she was heading back to the airport, I saw a bunch of Mambo hair on her pants. I said, "Oh, you took some of Mambo
Oh.
home with you."
For
sure. Very good stuff. But yeah, we'll definitely work that out and we'll get that stuff going and film with that because everybody wants to watch Ant laugh and I want to see something happen for him.
Hold on, Troy. You have to tell them what you were going to say.
Oh well, the first time I went to his house, we were sitting at the table, Brittany, and James was out at work, and he was going to bring food
Right here.
home for us.
right here.
What's up, buddy? So we were sitting right there. Is he home?
No, I said we were.
Oh, I thought he was
sitting
over there. I was
right
going to say, "What's up?" They
here. Did you see
and so
something?
we were sitting there talking. No, you
Oh,
pointed
thought
like
it
in
was
there.
Jimmy?
You were like, "Oh, it's in there." I thought he was just sitting there.
You just
So we're sitting there talking, and all of a sudden we hear Anthony. And I was like, oh, I started to get up. I'm like, oh, he's home. But he wasn't home. He wasn't
Was
home.
it his voice? Was it his voice?
No, it was just a voice of Anthony, and I've never had met him yet. So I went to get up like, oh, he's home. I'm gonna meet Jimmy. But dude, I don't know where that voice came from. I thought for sure
And
he
we
was both in the garage.
and him and I looked at each other at the same time as if someone walked in. So Troy and I looked at each other and we're like,
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I guess he's here. You know, he's just like
I saw him
starting to
standing
move, and I was
behind
like, okay. And then it was like, oh, he's still there. He called him. He's like, oh my God, he's not even near here yet. So it was weird. It was definitely a weird thing. It was definitely weird.
That's interesting.
But we'll definitely get some good stuff. We'll have some fun with some footage and
Yep.
and
Fun with footage.
yeah, we'll have some fun with it. I think we'll have a good time. And like I said, my goal is to really let Ant see something that he can take home with him.
He's
Oh,
checking it out
I
now.
definitely think
Sure.
if we can do the place we have in mind, there will be
Okay.
enough energy there and frequency there.
okay.
And then I have equipment to set off and bring energy into the space. So
I'll work on that, and just in case, we'll have to work on something else just in case, and you'll have to make
That's
sure it's a
fine.
close set.
Is there a specific spooky place
Fine.
y'all have in mind, or
Oh, there is. There is. I think you'd enjoy it, and I'll tell you what it is.
cool?
Um,
Yeah, we'll find out first.
We'll definitely.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think we have a couple, and if not, we'll do that. But I think it'd
why
be a
don't
good
we get
time.
on a call after this real quick?
I can do that with you.
I was gonna say we could just stay on here too. It's after
Yes.
we
Oh,
sign
okay.
off.
Well,
soon as I
know
get
you're
out.
we're live, but
Yep. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thanks for everybody coming out and checking us out. It's always good to have you join us, and you can check us out on YouTube. This is going to upload. So if any of you want to see Ann or he shares it, everybody's going to be checking him out. But I appreciate y'all coming. We really do. Thanks for all the
Definitely.
comments. And Brittany smiles a lot and doesn't say much, but that's okay. It looks like we're talking to Lita Ford or Stevie Nicks in an old podcast. So if there was podcasts in the 80s, that's what it would look like right there in the
Right.
far right corner. But anyways, thank you guys for coming out. We appreciate it. And we want you to have a great night and good night. Thank you. Thank you again.
Coming down to the fairgrounds this weekend. Repticon. Hardcore
Yep.
Oh
Hockey.
see
yeah,
y'all there.
Repticon. See,
We'll
yeah.
see you all there. We're going to go. So if you're going to be out there, swing by.